Today we're jumping into an interesting analysis all about Lenovo, specifically looking at it as an investment.
Yeah, that's right. And the viewpoint we're unpacking comes from finance analyst Zoran Vuk-Stoimanov.
So our goal here is really to get into the key findings from his perspective, understand why he sees Lenovo as, well, a potentially strong prospect.
Exactly. Not just the numbers, but the thinking behind them, based purely on what he's put forward.
Right. So where does he start? Looks like the financials for the fiscal year 2024-25.
And they look pretty compelling, according to his analysis. He notes this big revenue jump, over 22%.
Wow, 22%.
Yeah, hitting $69.1 billion. And get this, that was actually their second highest annual revenue figure ever.
Second highest. Okay. And what about profit? Did that follow?
It did. He highlights the net income growth, too.
Yeah.
A really significant increase, up 37% he found, to about $1.38 billion.
So big jumps in both. What does he think drove that success? Just the market bouncing back?
Well, partly maybe, but he attributes a lot of it to Lenovo's specific strategy. A real focus on premium products and critically AI-enabled devices.
Ah, the AI angle.
Yes. That focus seems to have really paid off, particularly in their main PC and device business. That's the Intelligent Devices Group, or IDG.
So building higher margin stuff, basically. Things ready for AI.
That's what his analysis points to. Seems to be a key driver he identified.
Makes sense with all the talk about AI PCs lately. Did he look beyond just the product mix, though? Like their overall market standing?
Oh, absolutely. He definitely emphasizes their continued leadership in the global PC market, holding strong.
Do we have a number for that?
Yeah, he cites a market share figure of 24.5%. Being number one like that, well, that's a big factor for him in terms of stability.
Okay, so market leader in PCs. But you mentioned AI. Is that where he sees the future growth coming from? Because the PC market itself is pretty mature, right?
Exactly. And that's where I think his analysis gets really interesting. PCs are the foundation, sure, but he highlights this big strategic push into AI infrastructure. He specifically calls out their Infrastructure Solutions Group, ISG. That's the servers, storage, networking side of things.
Right, the enterprise stuff.
Precisely. And the demand there, especially for AI servers and also their innovative cooling tech, that's flagged as a major growth driver.
Cooling technology. Why is that so important for AI servers, in his view? Seems specific.
It is specific, and it's a good point. His analysis suggests it's crucial because these AI servers, they run incredibly hot. They use powerful processors.
Okay.
So efficient cooling isn't just nice to have, it's essential for performance and reliability. Lenovo developing innovative solutions there, well, that gives them an edge, according to him.
Got it. So providing the nuts and bolts for the whole AI boom.
That seems to be the key takeaway from his analysis on the growth front, diversifying beyond just devices.
Okay, so we've got strong financials recently, leadership in PCs, this big push into AI infrastructure. Sounds pretty positive, but no analysis is complete without looking at the downsides, right? What risks does he mention?
Good question. You, listening, need to consider this too. What could go wrong? He does point out a couple of key things.
Like what?
First, as you hinted at, the PC market itself is mature. Growth there is just naturally going to be slower than something like AI infrastructure. That's one reality.
And the second?
Geopolitical challenges. For a huge global company like Lenovo, that's always a factor. He notes things that could mess with supply chains or operations.
Standard global company risks, then. Mature market, geopolitics.
So how does he balance it all in the end? Is the overall view still positive?
Yes. Based on the material, the overall view presented is optimistic. He seems to conclude that despite those risks, Lenovo's diversified structure, having both that stable PC group and the high-growth infrastructure group, plus their innovation, especially in AI, it creates a pretty solid foundation.
So the diversification helps buffer the risks.
That appears to be the argument presented. It builds, in his view, a compelling case for at least considering Lenovo as an investment. Okay, so for you, the listener, what's the bottom line from this analysis? It paints a picture of Lenovo with solid recent performance, still leading its main market.
And, crucially, making significant headway in that high-growth AI infrastructure space. That's the core message.
Right. So maybe the final thought to leave you with, based on this analyst's take, is this. How do you weigh those risks he mentioned, the slow PC growth, the geopolitics, against that potential upside from AI infrastructure, especially their specific strengths in servers and cooling?
Yeah, it's that balance, isn't it? Thinking about how those factors stack up, that's what makes exploring this kind of analysis useful.